In a small town surrounded by hills and dense forests, there stood an ancient temple known as the Forbidden Sanctuary. The temple had been closed for many years and was surrounded by numerous stories and legends about mysterious events and supernatural forces dwelling within. No one dared to approach the temple, as everyone feared what might happen if they entered. A young man named Fadi lived in the town. He was a writer and researcher of the mysterious and mythical. Fadi was fascinated by the stories of the temple and believed there was a truth behind all those frightening legends. He decided he would fulfill his dream and uncover the secrets of the Forbidden Sanctuary, despite the warnings of the townsfolk. One night, Fadi equipped himself with the necessary gear and set off toward the temple. When he arrived, the temple was shrouded in pitch darkness, and a sense of fear crept into his heart. He pushed open the old door with difficulty and entered. The place was filled with the smell of mold and dust, and the walls were covered in incomprehensible symbols and carvings. Fadi began exploring the temple and found himself in a large hall containing a massive statue of a strange-looking deity. There were burning torches in the corners, adding a terrifying atmosphere to the place. As he wandered through the hall, he noticed an old book placed on an altar in the center of the room. He opened the book and began reading. The pages were filled with spells and mysterious texts talking about a hidden force dwelling in the temple. As he continued to read, he suddenly felt a cold draft sweeping through the room and heard strange whispers surrounding him. He tried to ignore his fear and continued reading until he reached a page that mentioned the forbidden ritual. The forbidden ritual was an ancient rite used to summon evil forces. There was a strong warning not to perform this ritual under any circumstances, as it could unleash uncontrollable powers. Despite the warnings, Fadi decided he wanted to know the whole truth. He began performing the ritual as described in the book. With each step, the feeling of fear and anticipation grew stronger. When he completed the ritual, a deep silence enveloped the hall. Suddenly, the ground began to shake, and a dark specter appeared before him. The specter stared at Fadi with eyes full of anger and hatred. The specter began to speak in a deep, frightening voice, telling Fadi that he had unleashed ancient forces and would suffer the consequences. Fadi tried to escape, but the doors closed tightly, and there was no way out. The specter began to approach him, and Fadi felt despair and fear.